We finna get needy and greedy and deep into it. We finna get all into my business.
I'm pretty than a motherfucker. Hoes me looking okay. She think that she fucking with me. Is this bitch okay? He say
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Yes, and by the title, you know that this is a story time. So we finna get needy and greedy and deep into it. We finna get all into my business. This is so that y'all can get to know me a little bit more. Get to love me, get to know me for me. So y'all know that all my story times come out of my diaries, and not too much on my diary, my son. This is an old diary from, I would say, 2023. But at the end of 2023, well, at the beginning of 2023 and at the end of 2022, that's when most of this is taking place, and a little bit of 2024. I believe it's a little bit of 24. Oh, it's some 25 in here, but it's at the beginning because I wasn't consistent. But anywho, this video is going to talk about when I went to therapy, why I went to therapy, how therapy worked for me, and just overall, if you're thinking about going to therapy, then hey, I say go ahead and do it. Do your biggest one, go to therapy. But I'm going to tell y'all why I went to therapy, and then I am also I'm going to be doing my makeup because I am batch creating today. I got something to drink. I got some water today. Starbucks, why do your cups be leaning? Why is my cup leaning? I paid $20 and my cup leaning. Why is my cup leaning? I'm also a little big back. So I got some big back snacks. So we finna get into this video, and I hope this helps somebody make the decision to go to therapy. So I hope y'all enjoy this video and continue watching. If you don't know me, because I don't know if I introduced myself, but if I did it, I'm gonna do it again. If you don't know me, my name is Taylor Marie, and this is my channel. This is my life. So either tune in or tune out. I don't really care. Do what you wanna do. Okay, y'all, so a little background story. I started going to therapy, I would say around 2022. Well, let me back up because I did try therapy when I was a little younger, around 16, 17. My grandma signed me up for therapy, and I will give it to my grandma. She seen that I had trauma in my life, and she took it upon herself to try to give me some help. And a lot of times people, parents, or their guardians don't usually do that. So shout out my granny, my great grandma at that. Shout out my granny for seeing that I was struggling and got me some help. But it didn't really last, and I really feel like if she would have stayed on me to go to therapy, I definitely feel like it would have helped when I was younger, and I wouldn't have been in certain positions and stuff like that. God was trying to set me up for success, but my environment was like, no. But anywho, so that was my first time ever really going to therapy, and it didn't work because my therapist, not to be rude or be racist or anything like that, but she was not the same culture as me. And so it was hard for me to express what I was going through because, for one, I'm a teenager. You're new. You don't really know what you're doing for real. And I just was like, this is not working. It wasn't working for me, and I knew that it wasn't working for me. But if I would have switched therapists or found somebody and just stayed on it, I probably wouldn't have went through this stuff. Anyways, fast forward to 2022, and this is where I meet my baby daddy. Now, or I met him in 2000, and I met my baby daddy in 2020. Long story short, I was in a relationship where it got domestic. Let me be real. It got domestic, and we was beating on each other. And it got to the point where I was pregnant, and I had a court order actually to go to therapy because we was beating on each other. And so that was what they ordered me to do. When I went to court, they ordered me to go to therapy. So when I went to therapy, I was pregnant at this time. And that is when I met my therapist. We gonna give her the name of, I need a pen. We gonna call my therapist. Her name is gonna be Lexi. So we gonna call my therapist Lexi. So my therapist, she was so freaking great. Like, Lexi, if you are watching this, babe, where are you, bro? Because I can use another therapist. I went to therapy. I tried to go back to therapy, babe. It's no one like you. But we'll get into that. So let me read a little bit of my diary. So today I also hit my therapist, Lexi. Yes, IDK. I don't know if I ever wrote about in this diary, but I started going back a while ago, maybe a year ago. Anyways, I'm going back to get my mind back right. I want to know why my love life is the way it is. And I want to really take the time to heal from whatever keeps me from wanting to open up to anybody. Honestly, I feel like when I was messing with baby daddy, because baby daddy is baby daddy. After the relationship, I had a different outlook on love when I got a reading. So one thing about me is I get a lot of readings. I get a lot of readings on me. I am a reader myself. So people come to me for reading and I have some great reviews on that. But I actually stopped doing it recently. But anywho, when I got a reading, the girl's name was Kayla. And the reason why I'm putting her name out there is because her name is so similar to mine, and that's how God works. God really works. And I don't even know where Kayla went. I don't know if she still does readings. She was so good. But anyways, I had got a read from her, and she basically was telling me how my heart chakra was closed off when it comes to romance. And I definitely feel the F word out of that, because I definitely still feel like my heart chakra is a little bit closed off, just because I feel like there's men out here who don't have the best intentions when it comes to me. They don't have the best intentions. And I am an intentional person. I'm moving with intention, moving forward in my life. And I only have time for people who is intentional and who wants to value me, who wants to love me. And so that's why I'm closed off. But I'm closed off to people who be playing games. I'm not closed off if somebody real and want to show me the real thing. I'm just closed off to games. But at this time, I was like hella closed off. I was closed off, but I was still thotting around. Yes, ma'am, I was still thotting around. So I go on in the diary entry saying that I don't really feel unlucky when it comes to love. I don't want to give up. I just believe that I'm here on a mission to be somebody, to be abundant. A while ago, I got a reading when I was pregnant. I had got a reading from a special person. And this special person is a real special person. And basically, she had gave me a message from my grandfather who passed away. It was my first time ever having a reading. And I think that's when I started taking spirituality really serious, because that was my first reading where I was like, oh my God, this hit home. And not too much on my eyebrows, because I'm not even going nowhere today. I'm just literally recording videos. So they don't gotta look perfect. But from far away, up close, they don't look that bad. I'm on my grid thing. I'm looking up. One eyebrow is a little higher than the other, but who cares? Back to the story. Okay, so I was basically saying, I was talking about the reading that I got in my diary, and I said somebody switched my path. I really did get told somebody switched my path. I said I feel like I have a clear idea of who it could be or who it was. Honestly, that doesn't even matter no more in my life. Who did it and who did what and how they did it and why they did it. It's not really a factor. It's all about me being on the path to God. That's all I care about. And so I was dealing with this dude around this time when I'm writing in my diary, and we gonna name him Derek. So I was messing with Derek. And why did he go through my mail? That's really crazy. If y'all want a story time about Derek, I will give y'all a story time about Derek, because I really did love Derek. Me and Derek were still cool, but going through somebody's mail. But anyways, this is not the story for that. Basically, what I learned about therapy. Let's close this diary, because let me skim it real quick and make sure it ain't nothing else in here I need to talk about when it comes to therapy. Hold on real quick. Okay, yeah, y'all. It ain't nothing else in that diary that talks about therapy. But I have a good memory, and I can tell y'all, just my story about therapy. But that diary entry talks about Derek. So I might have to just swing back and talk about Derek, because Derek, babe, I wrote it all down. You did that? I don't think I really like you no more. I don't think it would never be that again. Ever. If you watching this, ever be that again. And I'm going to do a story time on Derek. And it's not even to shame Derek or nothing like that, but it's literally to talk about what I'm about to talk about right now. Is I went to therapy because of the love in my life. And when I say the love in my life, I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about life. The lack of love that I had in my life led me to therapy. Led me to be in toxic relationships where I stayed when a person repeatedly put their hands on me. That's not love, y'all. Repeatedly did these things. And so what I really learned about therapy is I learned so much about myself. And when it comes to love, I really learned how to love myself better. I am so sorry to myself for allowing people to treat me certain type of ways. I'm so sorry to myself, to my younger self, to myself that was an adult but didn't understand. I am so sorry because I hurt that person so much and it damaged me in ways that couldn't be explained. And therapy was a outlet for me. Lexi was the best therapist I've ever had because she was real, she was honest, and she was relatable. And she was black. Power to the black people. She really helped me understand. She really helped me with multiple things. She helped me say no to things. She helped me literally go dig deep on what it is when it comes to love. Why was I lacking? Why did it feel like I was lacking? And I still struggle a little. I'm struggling with men mostly because I never had a positive role model as a man show me what a man should look like in my life. And that is not to throw shots at anybody, but now I have a great relationship with my stepdad. And so I'm not saying he was replacing my father, but I'm saying he has literally helped me on this journey to becoming who I am today. He does everything for me. So that is a man that I look at. I see how much he loves my mom. That is a role model for love when it comes to men. But therapy really helped me. It helped me grow in areas of my life where I feel like I knew I needed growth, but I didn't really know how to navigate the growth. So that is when I really started to take it serious. And I would stop and start my therapy sessions because how they were spaced out. I went to her 3 times. And each time was a different phase of my life. So the last time I went to therapy, it really was to help with relationships because I just was dealing with the worst type of men around that time in my life. And I was just like, listen, I need to figure out what is the root cause of all of this because there's no reason why I'm still dealing with the same type of men. And that's how I feel today. I'm not dealing with the type of men that I was dealing with before, but I'm definitely like, yo, I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be lonely. I would rather be lonely before I deal with another man who is literally not capable of giving me what I deserve and who is not letting God lead their life. If God is not at the forefront of your life, I don't care if you is my best friend. I cannot have any dealings with you. I need people around me to have God at the forefront of their life. Period, because that's who's at mine. And I know God is at the forefront of your life, then I know God can be at the forefront of my life. Period. Lexi was such a great asset in my life because I really learned to say no to things. I learned in therapy that I was a pushover, I was a people pleaser, and I was scared to say no. And of course, there's reasons why I was scared to say no. If you want to know the reasons why I was scared to say no, you can check out this video right here. And this really explained what I needed to accept, what I needed to release, and what I needed to go through in order to really be able to understand why my love life was going the way it was. I'm not saying every therapist does this. My little lip plumper. I'm not saying every therapist does this, but my therapist, she used to, at the end of our sessions, she used to send me videos and inspirational videos about what I'm going through at that time. And that literally helped me. Things that she said, another person said better. And I was all for it. My girl, Lexi, was the best therapist I've ever had. She was young and I didn't even know until the end of our session when I was about to be done with her that we knew certain people. She actually went to school with my older brother on my daddy's side, and I never knew that. And I was like, oh my God, girl. But she was the best ever. And I just really feel like therapy really helped me in such a big way because I learned how to say no. I allowed certain things in my love life to happen the way that they were happening. And essentially, I was just too nice. And the reason why therapy don't be working for other people is because y'all are too scared to tell your therapist that they not working for you. You scared to tell your therapist, it's this, I don't think you're the right fit for me. And that's okay to be like, I want to go to therapy, but I don't think this is the right person. It is okay. It's 100% okay to feel like that, because I recently was in therapy this year and I had to quit my therapist because she just wasn't, do I know not to compare? Yes, but she was a little older. So I'm like, maybe she has a lot more, maybe she has some knowledge, some helpful tips for me because she is a little bit older. No, she wasn't a really good fit for me. She just kept asking me questions that I was asking. She was answering my questions by asking me questions. Why are you asking me questions? You the therapist. I'm asking you questions and you asking me questions back. Do you know what your job is? Why you ask? If I knew the answer to the question, do you think I would be here? Do you think? So you're wasting my time and you're wasting your time, and time is valuable. Time is too valuable to be wasted because I'm not getting nowhere. But it did do this little job that I was supposed to do. I did receive the message that I was supposed to receive from that therapist, because God talks to you in all different type of ways. And so that was cool. But it's okay to say no to a therapist that's not working for you, babes. It's okay. And therapy really just worked the best for me when I started to really take it serious, and I had more to think about. I had my son to think about. I had a lot to think about. And that's why I started to take it really serious, because I'm a mother and I am doing the best that I can. But at the same time, I need to exhaust every option to be becoming the best version of myself, not only for me, but for my son. My favorite thing about therapy was being able to say things that I was scared to say, because I was scared to talk about it to the people that was in my environment at the time. And that's why it's so important to have the right people around you and in your environment, because if not, you can be like me and be holding all of those things in, having anxiety, having depression, having all of these things in, because you have no one to talk to. You have no outlet. You may have your mom, you may have your dad, maybe you have your grandma, and maybe sometimes you want to talk about things that they did that made you feel some type of way, and you're not all the way over it. Maybe you were a kid, or maybe you're just not comfortable talking to those people. So it's really important to have an outlet. It's important to have somebody that you can just talk to. When you talk to them, they're going to give you the best advice. And then another thing that was really so great about therapy is this person does not know anything about me. They don't know my mom. They don't know my dad. They don't know my ex-boyfriend. So they have no other judgment but what I'm telling them. And sometimes we need that in our life. We need people. We need an outsider to try to look in to see where can we be better as people. What can we do as adults to help ourselves? What can I do to help myself? Even if you're not an adult, what can I do to help myself? What can I do to not be depressed? What can I do to not have anxiety? What can I do to not have suicidal thoughts? And if you are having those thoughts, I was there. I know I was there. I wasn't there. I was literally there not too long ago, too. If we want to be so real, I was there not too long ago, probably 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I was there again. So it's important to have those outlets. Unfortunately, when I went back to therapy this year, I had to end up leaving my therapist because it wasn't a good fit for me. And then that's when I just turned to God, because at this point, God, you be my therapist. You be my therapist. You be my outlet. You tell me what to do. Become aware of your situation, because if you really want to do better in life, and then the thing about it is, we are not promised every day, but God gives us another day to become a greater version of ourselves. Because even if you don't believe in you, God believes in you. Even if your mama, your granny, your auntie don't believe in you, God believes in you. And do something about that. Do something about your mental health, your mental state. Do something about it. Because if God is giving you another day, if God is blessing you with another day, God is saying, I see the potential. I see the growth. I know what can happen. I know what mountains can be moved. So I really urge everybody and anybody who is really looking to go into therapy to literally do your research. When we talk about generational curses, I want y'all to really listen to this. We're not talking about just your mama and your granny. We talking about they mama and they granny and they mama and they granny. And what did they carry on? What problems in their life did they carry on in their life, and they passed it on to the to their children, and it shaped their child, and that child had more children, and how they were raised, that shaped their child, and that shaped that is a generational curse. That means we're teaching bad habits one generation after another. That is a generational curse. Break that curse. Be the one to break the curse. Be the one to form your own family. I knew what I needed to do when I got pregnant, because I'm birthing another generation. And if I don't get myself together, I'm going to destruct not only myself, but I'm going to destruct the next generation, because I didn't help myself to help my son. Do you see where I'm going with that? And if you don't have kids, find a reason, find an outlet. Whether that be your mama, whether that be your daddy, your granny, whether that just be yourself. Find a reason to go hard. Find a reason to do better. Just because you ain't got kids, that's not a reason. Just because your mama and your granny and nobody taught you to not want to do better, that's not a reason. That's an excuse. Stop making excuses for yourself. Everybody want to have a good life. Oh, and then I hate this saying, oh, therapy is for white people. I don't want no white person in my business. You sound uneducated. And let me tell you something about fear. Fear is, when you are fearful of things, you're only fearful because you don't know. You don't have the information. You don't know the truth. You don't know the truth behind it. You ain't did no research. You don't have no evidence. You didn't even try it out yourself. You didn't even do a trial run to even see. And even if you did do a trial run and the therapist wasn't for you, did you quit or did you keep going? Because obviously it worked for somebody. So if it worked for somebody else, why would it not work for you? You just have to figure out what is fitting for you when it comes to therapy. What do you need help with? Know what you're going to therapy for. You're not going to fix your life in one therapy session. I had to break it up in 4 different times I went to therapy. I still got stuff I want to get to. But does that mean I'm going to quit because my last therapist wasn't a good therapist for me? It wasn't a good fit. Does that mean I'm going to quit? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means I have to find something that is fitting for me. Don't let not knowing and not trying be the reason why you don't become better. Don't let life's circumstances turn you into a person who never grows. And see, the thing is, at a young age, I always said, I don't give myself a sad story, because we all got a story. We all have a story. We all have went through something. That is life. We all go through things. So that's not going to be the reason why I quit. That's not going to be the reason why I don't go after the things that I want in life. That's not going to be the reason why. Because I know that it comes with life. We have a story. Literally, these stories shape us to be the people that we want to be in life. These stories shape us to be who we want to be in life. So why are we allowing these same circumstances to tear us down and not become better? Listen, going to therapy helped me find my voice. It did not help me find my identity. How I found my identity is through God. And I had to hear my voice first. I was mute in this world. Before I went to therapy, I was mute. I didn't even have a voice. I thought I did. But I really didn't. I thought I had a voice. I thought I knew something, and I didn't know nothing. And it's not until I went to therapy that I found my voice. And you can tell when people go to therapy, they're less ignorant. You can tell. Some people are just ignorant. But a person who went to therapy and it was useful for them, they benefited off of it, you can tell that they took it serious. You can tell by how they talk, how they walk. You can tell. And that's half of the reason why some of my friends ain't my friends. Because I'm fixing things in my life that we shared in common. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I went to go fix things that we shared in common, and they didn't want to go fix these things. So they still have these same problems that I fixed. I'm cool with certain things. I'm cool with life working on me. Listen, y'all, as the new adults, we need to take our mental health seriously. We need to get help. We don't need to be shameful about what we went through, how we went through it, and how it's not working for us no more. How we don't want to be that person no more. take some initiative and go get some help if you really need it. Time doesn't wait for nobody. Time is still going to keep going, and you're still going to have these problems. So I really advise anybody that needs therapy to go. Stop listening to what other people say and just go see for yourself. Stop listening to word to mouth. Sometimes you really do have to experience things on your own so you can form your own opinion and have your own perspective of it, not based off what other people said and because you're fearful. Go get some help, y'all. So that is it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed our little chat time where I got ready to go record the rest of these videos that will be up soon. I thank y'all. I love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't be afraid to join my channel because we keep it real and we keep it moving over here. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next story time. Comment. Let me know what y'all want to see. Let me know what y'all want to hear. Do y'all want to know something juicy? Do y'all want to know something serious? What do y'all want to know? Let me know. Love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.
What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. Huh? They ain't talking about none.